Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. Third fight in the chaos difficulty of Conquest Calamity. First fights have been, fairly not too troublesome, and now we're going into the Bastion of Iron versus the Earth Golem, and its field effect is guaranteed crits for everybody, himself included, which, it can hurt you a little bit. It makes you stronger, technically. All your normal orbs, your ults, will have guaranteed crits, so you pretty much just need to bring like a crit or a crit damage character, and you'd be pretty well off if you want to go that way. But the Golem has 2.6 million HP, so pretty high. Very high attack, nerfs blue orbs, which is kind of unfortunate. Increases own crit resistance by 20%. This does fall off though, so I think on the nuke turn he won't have it, so you don't have to worry that much. Does heal, does have pierce, does have a 200% physical attack buff, combined with his already fairly high attack stat, means that if you don't kill him by the purge turn, he's gonna purge you. But he is Earth, which means we have to use fire characters, which, there are some, not a lot, but there are some that don't need blue orbs. So let's go ahead and check those out now. Alright, first team, physical team, we're going to go with the burn team. So we've got the new Warrior's Mind Shuna, who is very strong for especially a physical focused team. You might be able to get away with New Year's Blessing Shion with the guaranteed crit, guaranteed synergy, but you're already guaranteed critting, so we don't really need that. And a lot of this is based off of crit damage, so we're going to miss a little bit off the synergy power from Milim, but it's only like 20%, so it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal, but we are bringing full physical team with the free-to-play Fire 2.0 hero, because he also has a burn skill, and also can give away orange orbs if we need to do that. Shinsha and Milim are here for their buffs, technically. Milim is only here now for her ult resistance down, but it's still something, which will be enhanced by Shuna's Dread skill. Rimuru, our single target DPS, with also burn, and then we've got a backup DPS in Summer Shizu, with the ult swap and the weakness strike, means that we will be able to further enhance the burn damage and buff up Rimuru even more with that weakness strike. Alright, so turn 1, not like a super great starting hand, but we will work with it because I got tired of resetting. So 4 orbs, so we'll bring in Rimuru for Shinsha and send the 4 orbs. We'll also bring Shizu in just because she has protection gauge trait underneath her. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That should get us access to Shuna turn 2. If it doesn't, then oh well, but if it does, then great. That's a lot of Shizu orbs, which means that because we do get access to Shuna, that's also a nice ult for Shizu right there. So, we're trying to maximize the burn. We're going to use the Future Hand of Orange skills now. That way we don't have to worry about the stun turn, and we can just send it, and we can get extra ult gauge. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Rimuru gets his ult. Shizu gets her ult. We're looking good. We're going to take out Milim for Shinsha. That way, when we're unstunned on turn 4, we could just ult swap. And we have 2 different ult swapping characters, Shizu and Shinsha, so we're going to be covered on both sides. And even though Shizu's converting to a blue orb, it doesn't really matter, because Shuna will just change all of them. So this, we missed the stun on Shinsha, which is cool and everything. We're still just going to send all the orbs because we want that free ult gauge. But... Am I not going to do that? Oh, well, that was a waste. Okay, sure. I guess I didn't want the ult for Shinsha because we still want to maintain those 2 ult swaps. So let's do the free one, and then the 15.1. We'll apply the burn because Rimuru's burn lasts for 2 turns, as does the weakness strike buff. So we can apply it now, and then we'll be pretty much set for next turn, as long because we don't have that many other points to use. Like, we've got the 55, the 40, the 25, and the 15. Like, there are no gigantic 90-point skills on this team, and everyone is fairly old, so not a huge deal. We'll bring in Hero, just so he's here on turn 5 to start out, and then we can use his burn next turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3 fire characters going to deal some burn damage. We have both EX alts now for Shizu and Rimuru, which is great. So maybe if your Rimuru isn't quite up to par, you do have a backup single target damage character. There's a little bit of burn. Okay. Take the hit, and then we've got 175 points, so we'll do the other stack of burn, and then we'll bring in Shinsha and Milim, use their buffs. Again, we're not fully making use of Milim, because we're not activating synergy rate, therefore her synergy power is useless, but we are going to get the 40% ult resistance down, which is like 47 or 48% because of the Dread skill, something like that. But now we have exactly, I think, enough points to use everything that I need to do here. We have the 55 from Shinsha, we have the 25, and then we have the 35 burn. So we can actually go about this pretty well. 1, 2, and yeah, we have 5 extra points. So we might as well. And in the very small off chance that both Rimuru and Shizu couldn't kill, we would have 40, 56, 70% burn damage coming in, which would probably kill the Golem. But we're not going to need it. So let's just go ahead and send the ults. I mean, we could use Shuna here to get the full 6-hand send. Maybe not the most necessary thing, but we do use it anyways. So, and my Super Spyware has an update. But Rimuru does 3 million damage by himself. So, and we naturally pierced, which is great. So there we go. We didn't need anything else. We didn't need the burn. We didn't need the single target Shizu ult. That was just enough damage right there. So that's our first clear with the physical team and the free-to-play unit. Now let's come back for the magic one. Alright, and for the magic team, we're going to go with kind of a wonky setup here. We've got Exalted Champion Velzard giving us the element buff and the Drago effect. We've got the free-to-play Isis for the green buff and the orb change if we need it. We've got Isis and Kyoko who are giving the ult resistance down, the magic buff, the weakness strike buff. We do have Christmas Shizu here, but do understand that I was an idiot, and I forgot that her buff is essentially the same thing as what Velzard is doing, so she's actually not necessary at all. You could bring the Summer Shizu we had in the last clip, or something like that. It really doesn't matter, but then it kind of conflicts with Kyoko. But we are nuking with Idol Shuna. Christmas Idol Shuna. Single target, magic, can give herself synergy and synergy power, which is cool, and also has that green, double green ult swap in case we need it, and then Isis for the ult resistance down and the magic debuff. So this also works, and obviously we were able to do it even though we were doubling up on the buff from Shizu, so this could be even better optimized for other people. But turn 1... do I just reset this? I do reset this. Alright, hold on. Okay. Now we're back. We get 3 greens turn 1, but we get 2 blues, so we're just gonna use Isis and convert those 2 into 5, and that should give us a pretty good starting value for skill points and gauge increase. With the traits, we'll actually kick over into Velzard, and then we can just use the green buff from Isis, and then we'll be good. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Boom. And yeah, that gets us very close. Alright, cheeky counter. She is type disadvantage though, so she is going to take a lot of damage here, especially since the Golem, just like us, is guaranteed critting. So we do have to keep track of what Isis is doing. And the Golem decides that he just really hates her, so she needs to go away now. But we do have quite a few Shizu orbs, which is cool. So let's go ahead and bring Isis in for her counterpart. Keep her safe. We'll use the green buff, that's all we have to do here, and then we'll use Velzard to convert everything. We'll bring Kyoko in. Technically, we have enough points to use his Vitalization skill, which will give us 25% 25% extra ult gauge at the end of the turn, just in case we don't hit it. But I think we should be okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, so we wouldn't actually get the EX ult off of it. We'd be very close, but 25% isn't going to cover that remaining amount that we have for Shuna. So we're going to have to go one extra turn, which is fine because the next turn is the stun turn anyways. So more importantly, we're capped out on points, and we got another Velzard active. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Guaranteed crits is nice. That's just a 30% increase to our damage, just outright. And then when we get ready for synergy, then it's really going to go up. But everybody is stunned here. We did not get lucky. Not a huge deal. We could use Velzard here. What does the orb look like? Just a lot of Shizu. Okay. So probably, yeah, send those. We get her ult. She is an AoE fire ult. She would get everything from this team as far as buffs are concerned, except the magic buff from Kyokyo, because she's physical. But otherwise, I mean, if you need a secondary character to do fire damage, I mean, she's here, technically. We don't really need her for anything, but we're going to double alt swap with Shuna. We do have enough points, I think, to nuke here, but we're gonna go an extra turn. So yeah, look at that. We still need 50, and I mean, technically we can. 1, 2, 3. So we're actually gonna hold on to these two buffs right here. So I don't really know why I did that, because if we bring Isis in, she's in desperate danger. So we're kind of playing with fire here. But we're going to send our two fire characters to the back. We could have just held on and not sent anything last turn, and we probably could have made it. We would have had enough points to nuke anyways, because we don't have to use the Shizu fire buff. It would give us like a little bit of fire resistance down because it's skill fused, but it's not enough to really make that much of a difference. So as long as Isis doesn't die here, we're going to be okay, which thankfully she doesn't, because it does an AoE swipe, which does less damage than the single target hit. But now we're back up to 180. We've already got those other two buffs on, so we don't really need to do much here except the ult resistance down. And then if you really, really wanted to, you could use the Fire Shizu skills. But the AoE damage doesn't apply to Shuna, nor does the Pierce power. And then the fire buff we're going to have covered by Velzard anyways. So, and technically the Drago is also covered by Velzard, so we're just using a lot of wasted skill points here. But it still can get the job done, which means that if I could just waste a whole bunch of turns and skills, you could probably build a better team than this. Probably. Assuming you have the options available to you. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So Christmas Shizu does 436k. Not great, but oh well. And then Shuna follows up with 1.9 million, which is enough to kill because of that almost 500,000 damage that Shizu did. So there we go. There is the at least 4 magic unit mission done, and the free-to-play character being Isis. So if you used something different, please let me know. Please let me know down in the comments. But that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.